Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel all about cross stitch with a little bit of paper crafting thrown in. If you are new, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for pressing play. I hope you like what you see, and you'll hit like and subscribe. Feel free to ask questions, comment away. And if you're a returning stitching friend, thank you so much for coming back and sharing some stitching with me. I don't have quite as much stitching as I have had in the past couple weeks. It was definitely one of my lightest stitching weeks in quite some time, and the past few weeks have been busier. So that tells you that I still touched a decent amount, but maybe not as much progress, but I do have a big finish, which I'm super excited about. I feel so much lighter right now. As you can see, I got my hair cut. I got it cut on Monday. I'll talk about life later, but my head feels about 10 pounds lighter, so it feels so nice. Okay, so let's start stitching. I have an artist trading card that I fully finished. I did not do an extra video on it because it really simple finish on it. So it didn't really need, I used one extra type of supply besides just the cardstock and the stitched piece. So I figured this one was certainly easy enough just to show you as a full finish. So let's start with that. I had stitched and finished recently from Waxing Moon Designs. They have a set of 6 littles or minis. I think they're called littles. You'll see one that I'm stitching right now from that pattern later on. And one of them happens to be the fox, which I finished. And again, I took bits and pieces out. I didn't stitch the leaves around it, and you'll see why. And I didn't stitch a border because I wanted to fit on this. If you're new, an artist trading card is a 2.5 by 3.5 little piece of art in some way, shape, or form. So here we go. Here's my little guy. The stitched piece part is all of the bottom with the little pile of leaves, the guy, and his rake. And then what I did was I took, and they're very tiny, I took very mini leaf eyelets, no, brads, and I kind of scattered them around. The picture itself, if you were to stitch this as it is, it had leaves somehow or other around there. I don't remember exactly. Now I had bought, so the first place I look at when I look for brads, you can get them lots of places, but if I want shaped brads, one of the first places I look at is a place called eyeletoutlet.com, and I'll link it down below. And so they have all sorts of different shapes. That's where I got my bumblebee brads for the finish that I had done about a month or two ago now. And so they had larger brads that were these colors and leaf shapes, and they had smaller ones. It's always measured in millimeters. I have a tough time kind of, even though I do the adjustment to inches, I still have a tough time visualizing it, and I wasn't sure what would work. So I bought a package of, I think they come in sets of either 10 or 12. I bought a package of large ones and a package of small ones. But when I tried to put the large ones on, it didn't quite look right. You'll notice that when I stitched this, I didn't give myself, I started up way too high, which is kind of a bummer because I had a lot of extra fabric. This is just done on a coffee tea-dyed Aida. So if I had stitched and given myself some more room, maybe I could have tried some of the larger ones on there, but I think the minis go nicely because this little pile down here is small, and I just pulled the different colors. Now, as a side note, I couldn't find the small ones, but I did find the large ones on Amazon. They were more expensive on Amazon, but you had free shipping, versus Eyelet Outlet, you don't. I ended up buying a couple things. You can get eyelets, brads, washi tape, and I'm not sure what else at Eyelet Outlet. So you do pay shipping. I don't know if there's a certain amount where you'd get free. So you kind of have to balance it off. If I had just wanted that one pack, I might have just gotten it from Amazon, because in the end it would have been cheaper than if I had got that one pack cheaper plus shipping. So it's up to you. But those are the 2 places I look first, and then there's lots of other places that certainly have regular just circle brads, but the shaped ones sometimes you might have to look at other places for. But this guy is done and he is ready for trading. I think I have one that's set to go in the mail, and I am all caught up with my trading. So if anybody was thinking about sending one to me and wants to trade, I've got some ready to rock and roll, and I'm going to keep stitching them. I like them a lot. They're a lot of fun to do, a lot of fun to just finish as little pieces, and at some point I'll get a chance to trade them. So that's that. And if not, I can just display them until they get traded. Alrighty, so that was my full finish. Next, my projects. You know now, project starts, finishes, in-betweens, I keep them all in one big pile. I don't differentiate from there. My first one, I have a goal-ish on this one. This is Sawan in Salem, and it is from Hemlock and Rye Stitchery. And my goal is to try to get this yellow house done by the end of the month. I don't know if I can do it. I have, today's the 14th, so I have a little bit more time, a few more weeks to go. It's a big house. They're all big houses. They're so fun to stitch though. And then I think I might just do the fence all the way across with no words. It is charted in 2 different words. So it can say Samhain in Salem. It also can say Halloween in Salem. The chart contains both of those. But I think I just really like, let me see if I can, I gotta go this way to do it. I really like that fence. So I thought that would be kind of fun to do all the way across. And here we are. So this is the big piece. Let me show you that, and then I'll fold it over to just show you the piece I'm stitching. I realized, and I did some panic counting. I think my piece is not, there's not gonna be a big margin over here. Let's put it that way. I don't think it's big enough, but I plan to scrapbook this, so I don't have to necessarily worry. I'll probably do another count because I'm looking at how far over this house comes, and I have 2 more houses to do before I completely stitch all this, but I'm almost sure it's fine. I can also, if you see the houses there is some space. I can make them a little bit closer. They could just be really good neighbors. But yeah, every once in a while as I'm doing this, because I was like, boy, that's going over quite a bit. And I do the fold over, find my middle, and I looked at the middle of the chart, and yeah, my middle is not where the middle of the chart should be. So even if it comes all the way up, this on the sides would be it would be a tight margin anyway. I would cut down how long that would be on the sides for the scrapbook. So I'm not particularly worried about that. Here I am. I have left, if I look at it, the big thing is I have the door here. I have another window here, the cute little window box. It's hard to see, but the little flowers are orange and red. They're so cute. So there's another window right here, and then the door. It does have pumpkins, so it can be part of my pumpkin birthday Sal. And then just, a little bit of a foundation. It's possible. The house is made, because I'm using all DMC, both the roof, I think the roof, there's not as much difference in that, and the house are 2 blended DMCs as opposed to variegated flosses. But it's a lot of fun. I had stitched Christmas in Nantucket. I love all of her houses, the whole 4 seasons. You know how I am about being a seasons stitcher. And I think I'd probably eventually try to do them all 4 seasons, but for now, I'm just working on this one. So if I can get this house done, I would call it a success by the end of the month. So we'll see. That's the goal. All right, moving on. Next, this is, of my current full coverages, this is my biggest full coverage. It is 400 wide by 551 high. It's a big one. Now, there is lots of blocks of color. So if it was full confetti, I think it would be a little bit tougher. This is it Little Red? Yeah, Little Red Riding Hood. It is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and the artwork is by Annya. I did, and I've said this before, I did think about the mini, but where it was cropped, I just didn't like it as much as the full. So we'll see. Will it ever get done? We'll see. I mean, this is a big piece of fabric. That's half of the fabric, and then there's another half. I did iron, but these become a mess right away, so. Oh, this is completely messy though. Let me see if I can fold it a little bit better so you don't see all the extra fabric sticking out. Okay. Let's see if that's any better. I always start in the upper left corner on my full coverages. So there I am. I know it doesn't look like much, but I did get stitched. I started it last Friday as the first day of my 10-day rotation. And so far, there were a couple days I wasn't sure I'd get to stitch on it this week, but I did give it about 100 stitches a day. And this is an 18 count white aida. It is 2 strands over 1 full cross. So I am doing full cross, not half. And I've got some little pieces here and there, but like you can see, there's chunks of color. So again, I try to pick a piece, see if I can have some pieces I can fill in with that, and then I go elsewhere that it might be as well. There's quite a bit of that color. As you can see, you're not going to get full color until you really get down to her, but she pops so much. I just love that pop of red against all these colors. And you'll see there's a bit more maroon here up in this corner than there is in the picture up top. So I get some colors. There's some blues that are very subtle in the picture that you'll get a chance to see. So it's not just grays and black. The only switch I did was, you know how much I enjoy using Anchor Black over 310, just my own personal preference. So I am using Anchor rather than the Charted 310. This will, excuse me, this will get, which way does it go? Now I have to look and see. This is the way it goes. I had it the wrong way, didn't I? That's the funny thing I did. I had it, this is the top. This is the side, actually. And this little bit's up here at the top. Sometimes with these things, unless you have something distinguishing it, you can't tell which way it goes. This will get another, I think through Sunday, if I get a chance to do it every day, this will get that. Then I'll switch over. This one is a little bit more unwieldy. I do stitch in hand even with the full coverage. So that's the one thing. I do have those little magnetic things, and in some cases I do try to corral the extra fabric with them. I haven't really done that with this one. I don't know why. I guess I should. There's no guess about it. I really should, because I think it would make my life a lot easier. So that's that. You'll see that again next week because it'll get a few more days. Okay. Put that right there. Next, I was just going to show you the black and white picture of this one, if I can find it. There it is. I don't know why I didn't take that out. This one is called Thanksgiving Quote with Sunflower. And the designer is Luba, Davies, Atelier. Atelier? I'm not exactly sure how to say it. It's an Etsy shop. I'll link it down below. I believe in the picture it's shown, if you see it on the website, in, I don't know if it's white or it's it's a light color fabric. I decided to go bright, and I love it. So here we go. This is 18 count Dive In from Bestitchme. Isn't it a beautiful blue? And I just felt with those sunflowers, this blue, it just reminded me of a vibrant blue sky, and just have the yellows and the different types of yellows bouncing off of it. I just thought it was so pretty. So that's what I went with. Now I did make a change. The words themselves are supposed to be in a 310, any type of black. And I did go with 3371. I probably could have gone even one shade lighter. And if you wanted to make it blend a little bit better, I would say go one shade lighter. But I think I like it like this. I'm okay with it. I did a lot of, this is a big leaf of the sunflower. I did a lot of that. I started to come in here. I was hoping to get more done beforehand, but I ran out of stitching time to get that done. But there we go. So I have another giant leaf. Let's see, this one's not a big one, but then we have another giant one here. Once I get to the words will go super easy. I'd say quickly. This is actually quite an easy stitch too, because once you do the outline, and that's what I did the outline of the leaf plus the veins, and then it's just one color in each one. So you can just sit and do some fill-in stitching. It's a lot of fun. So if you like the idea of this, I would say go for it. I had never stitched anything before from them, and I'm really pleased with the pattern. I'm really enjoying it quite a bit. So Thanksgiving quote with sunflower. Oh, it's next. My big finish. Now this is a stitch finish. It's not a full finish. It's going to be a simple full finish when it is fully finished. I'm not doing anything elaborate because I want him to shine. I finished Shamrock. Technically, that's not the name of the pattern. It's called Colorful Dog. It's from Wonderland Ukraine on Etsy. I didn't bother to put up the picture because look, he is done. So close up, the green gets a little washed out, but there he is. He is done on an 18 count Honeydew Melon from To Die For Fabrics. And I have to say, this pattern, when I look at it, how they did the nose and just all the different parts, it just looks so realistic when you really look close. Now, I think this is going to be a very simple finish. I was thinking just a white frame. I don't know if he's a square. I'll have to do some math. But I would like to, I think, show a little bit of the fabric. I wouldn't want a tight frame. I want some of the green because it's such a pretty green, and I think the colors really jump off of it quite nicely. So it'd be nice if he is a square, and maybe I can try to figure out what size square would work best. But just a simple white frame with a bit of the fabric showing, just to make him the complete focal point of the piece. And then hopefully, I was hoping to get to IKEA this month, and I don't know if it's happening. If we could get to IKEA, get what we need, then I can have Mo put the shelves up, and then I can put a few things up, and then I might rotate which way I'm filming so that that stuff behind me would be what you see versus this and this. Ooh. So that is the ultimate goal, because it'd be really a lot of fun to have him. Well, I'll be able to see him all the time, but it'd be fun to have him up too. And then I can rotate sometimes what's on the shelves. I'm not having a ton of full big finishes. Lady Halloween will certainly be a full finish, and she'll go up there too. Whether or not I keep it all seasonal, I don't even know. We'll see. But he is my pride and joy, and I am so thrilled with this piece. So he's done. He was my 25/7 piece, which is a Facebook group. And basically you stitch on a piece, you pick a piece and you stitch on it either 25 stitches or 25 minutes a day, 7 days a week. Now that he is finished, and I have to say, I do think that that made a difference. I would have probably stitched him, at least X amount of stitches a week, but I don't think I would have done as much as I got done in the 25/7 if I hadn't done him every day. So I'm not sure he would have been finished by now. My next piece that will go in the 25/7 rotation is Autumn Town by Wonderland Stitchery, because I'm super excited to get that one at the point where I can get a finish on it. And I really feel like that is a good motivator for me. Now, that one 25/7 doesn't have to be until you finish it. You can pick it for a month. You can pick it for however long you want. This one I did do 25/7 till it was finished, and I will do that with Autumn Town, because I think within a month, I think I could get that finished if it's done 25/7. But then there might be some bigger ones. Maybe I'll break down and say just 1 month I want to get some progress, so I'll pick that one as that. Or maybe I'll keep it this way. I like getting some of these finishes. So he's done. I can't stop looking at him. Megan she's home this week, and so one day she was like, "What you stitching?" And I was just about done with him, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna cry," because it looked so much like him. So super happy with that. And that's my most excitement of the day. My favorite piece. Okay, next. I love them all, but that one's my favorite. Next. Speaking of Wonderland Ukraine, I pulled out, because we're still in, okay, it's called Summer Gnome, but the colors are darker in real life, in some cases, not so much with the flowers, but with the hat and stuff, than they are on the picture. So it definitely reminds me of fall colors as much as summer. So this is a set of 3. That's the 3 of them. And the one I've chosen to stitch is this one. Oops. And I'm not stitching the background. He's on colored fabric instead. So, or she, I guess, if it's braids. Here we go. There it is. Let me show you up back to again, because again, when I bring this up close, it kind of washes off. This is a greenish fabric with maybe a slight gray undertones, but it's definitely green. As it comes up, it doesn't necessarily look like that. And that's the whole piece. Obviously, I've had the top done for a little bit. This is where I really focused. 18 count. Now it's an unnamed fabric. It didn't have a name, and it's from Coffee Crafts Fabrics. Coffee Crafts, I think it's it. Yeah, fabrics. I don't do great with Amazon, not Amazon, Facebook links down below, but I do link it. So hopefully it gets you there if you're interested in her stuff. And really focused down here. I got this side of the hair all done. And then I did quite a bit of the flower and a little bit down on the other side as well. Because you'll have the 2 hands, kind of like mittens, sort of holding the flower itself. So that's where it is. And this is I think I did a little bit of the hair over here too. There's so many colors in the hair, and it's all charted in DMC, but it really, like with the flowers, there's a lot of colors, maybe 5 or 6, and they're all just various shades of each other, but then it really brings it to life, pops it out. So I really like this one a lot. And I like the gnomes from Wonderland Ukraine, and you'll see I have one coming up as a possible start this month. So that's that. Summer Gnome. If I start that other one, this one might end up going to the side for a little bit. You know how it goes with projects. I am, if you haven't hung around with me very long, I don't really care and don't generally know, except when I do a project parade, how many projects I have ongoing. I really don't. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't faze me. So I really don't pay attention to it. So if I start another one, even though another one's not finished, I don't have a problem with it. Okay, here we go with the littles. The official name of this is Autumn Littles, and it's from Waxing Moon. And it's a set of 6. Let me show you the full set first. That's what the full set looks like. Aren't they adorable? Super, super cute. And where's the fox? So you can see there's a bunch of leaves stitched. And I kind of followed that a little bit when I put mine on the piece. And obviously the border wouldn't really fit for the trading card. So I knew that was going to come off. And I just thought I liked this a little bit better. It gives it a little dimension. So now the next one I jumped onto, I always have a soft spot for owls. So I've picked the owl. Now I'm not doing the leaves again, because I will either use big or little more of the brads. I might try to use a couple of the bigger brads because those are big leaves. I'm definitely stitching the owl with the orange pumpkin. If I have the room, I'll do the side pumpkins. I have to do the math. I know I have enough fabric. I just have to do the math on that. And that would make him, Actually, I have to do the math too to make sure he's, because that would mean I have to have it a horizontal card, but then he might be too tall. I'll have to figure that out. So that's what it looks like. And I didn't get as much done as I wanted to. I really wanted, I totally forgot to, I really wanted to get those eyes filled in so it looks like something, not a vacant stare. This is done on just 18 count vintage country mocha, a piece of that. This one, I just coffee tea dyed, but I couldn't find, I don't know if I used up all of this. They're obviously very similar. I liked the colors on that, and so I figured I would do some more. I didn't, looking back now, I should have given myself more room up here. I'm very close to the top, so he can't be any, I can't do any more fabric beyond just the tip of my finger, which may dictate what leaf brads I use, because the big ones might be a little bit overwhelming for the piece. But that's what it looks like. And hopefully I'll get this one finished and maybe a full finish. I don't know what this coming week is looking like. I have a few appointments, so we'll see. Okay, 2 more. I started this one last week and I adore it. I really, really enjoy stitching this. If you're on the fence and you're not sure whether you'd like to stitch it, it is a joy. It is a pure joy. And it is from Jan Hicks Creates, and it's Carolyns Balloons Autumn. Let me bring you up close. I love it. I really, really enjoy it. It's got that Quaker vibe with the different types of looks to the balloons and all the other little extra pieces. And it's just so fun to stitch. And her patterns are so lovely to stitch from. Now mine's a little bit more outdoorsy looking than the model. I went with an 18 count, it's called Car Wash from Fortnight Fabrics. And yes, it is a more heavily modeled fabric than you will usually see me stitch on. I do like slight, subtle modeling. Not generally as stark as this, but this piece is perfect because I wanted that outside cloudy sky, clouds against the blue sky, and the balloons rising up. I finished the inside of this balloon. I'm using her DMC alternatives, not called for what the originals are. I don't remember, the basket might have been done. So it might have just been the inside of this balloon that needed to get done. This whole top outline of the balloon and a little element down there. More stitching than you think, as usual, but quicker stitching. It's quite lovely and a lot of fun, and I can't wait to just start each balloon. And you can see it's not a huge piece. I mean, I really have maybe, I don't know if I did this right margin-wise again. Boy, my counting lately. But it probably goes to about there. I'm sure it's fine. Honestly, I don't know if all these different pieces, I mean, how many seasonal can I have up anyway, right? Just in this room and on the shelves and whatever. So some of these are going to end up being scrapbooked anyway. And then it doesn't matter so much because I try to keep the margins a little tighter. But it's there. If you enjoy either balloons or Quakers, it's a really fun stitch, and I would say go for it. All right. And lastly is a little start. It's a new start. You know, for October, I am doing my pumpkin Birthday Sal. And that balloon one was a start. And the pumpkin connection there is pumpkin colors of the flosses. This one actually has a pumpkin in it. I'll talk about some upcoming ones I might be doing too, and the stitch along in just a moment. But the last one, I recently gave away a copy of this, and I had a copy for myself, and I decided I wanted to stitch it. I did stitch this balloon, see, I've still got that, hold on one sec. I did stitch that pumpkin, and I made a trading card out of it, and that's what it looks like. It was a lot of fun to stitch, and I said, you know what? Let's stitch this one, or let's at least get it started. Now this one I did on a bit more purplish, and I originally, when I showed you this a few weeks back, I had a brighter purple I was going to do. And then I finished my Halloween calendar, and this fabric, it had stayed in the Halloween calendar bag while I was doing it, because I didn't know how much I'd need as I was going along with it. And I said, wow. And actually this piece, part of it is a little bit more grayer than some of the other parts of it. I really, really like Haunting from Fabrics by Stephanie. It's grayish with some purples and so on and so forth. And I thought, oh, I threw the flosses onto it. The colors look great. And I said, that's what I'm going to do instead of the brighter purple. So, and this piece itself definitely skews gray, which is fine because I like gray quite a bit. I think a lot of colors look good on gray. I didn't get a huge start. I was going to stitch the moon, but for some reason I didn't have that floss, in the bag. So I didn't. I'm going back and forth with the border parts. Some points doing the black and then doing some of the orange. I am using, it calls for 310, well, it calls for a Gentle Arts. I am doing all of the DMC alternatives. It says 310, I'm using Anchor. So not a very huge start. It's not a huge pattern itself. I think it'll go fairly quickly. I doubt it'll be done for this Halloween, but that's fine. I don't stitch things to have them up by a certain display for a certain time, so I'm okay with this hanging around. And who knows, I might pick it up in the middle of February if I feel like it. I don't know. So that's that one. So those are all of my pieces this week that I worked on. And plans. So as a reminder, October is my birthday month. I'm an October 23rd baby. So I have a couple more weeks until my birthday. And for the month, I just decided to stitch pumpkin, and I invited any and all of you to join me. It could be an actual pumpkin colors on your flosses or your fabrics, something pumpkin related. You know, very much loose. The hashtag is pumpkin birthday SAL. And I have a few more projects that I may start. The one that I don't have to show you, just to show you, I showed you some fabrics. I went and I looked for some fabrics yesterday so that I'd have those ready to go if I wanted to, felt like a start. The sloth, I had shown you that a few weeks ago. And I was originally going between one fabric, but then I had gotten a fabric in and I think I liked that one better. So we'll see when that comes, what I end up doing with it. Now this one, actually the one that has the pumpkin on it, I wasn't starting with, but this one, it has candy corns on it, so that's a pumpkin color. I have this pattern from Hands on Design. It's called Signs of the Season. I was going to change slightly with it though. I love the 3 vibrant colors. You've got the purple, the orange, and the kind of lime greenish. Well, I said to myself, instead of stitching those colors, why not put them on those colors and then basically stitch the inner part, and then I can stitch above it whatever pieces are above it. So I have this fabric. It's an unnamed fabric from To Die For Fabrics. It's 18 count. So I was thinking, let's bring it up close. Don't they look very similar? And I do like that purple. I could have pulled whatever floss color it was and checked too, but I think this would look really nice against it. So if I wanted a small, I thought that would be kind of cute. I certainly have orange because I have my pumpkin spice and I might have some other oranges. The lime green could be an issue, but I might be able to find something on that. So that's the first option that I've got. So you may see all parts, I'm not sure, this month of any of these starts. The next one, I kind of foreshadowed a little bit when I was talking about my summer gnome. I had bought these, I don't remember when, these autumn gnomes. Aren't they cute? And I couldn't decide which one to do. They all have pumpkins on them, so that's not an issue. But I decided, let's see if it'll show up. It's not going to, so I'm just going to do it this way from the front. I decided to do this little guy in the end where he's got the pumpkin holding. I liked the dark color, the deep brown, and then I loved this little piece right here. So I thought that would be one I would do. Again, I wouldn't stitch the background. Now, looking at it, I do like that yellow against it. So I might reevaluate, although I did like the flosses against this. Let me hold them up since I don't have. This is Friendship Green, one of my favorites for a lighter, more neutrally green. I was going to do it on that potentially. I'm going to look at my yellows though, just to see if there's something that I like, but I do like it on this green. The flosses looked really nice on this green. And this is a great green, at least an 18 count. I adore it. It really, so many things show up so nicely on it. And I've used parts of it, as you can see, but I have enough, I think. I have to do the math, but I'm almost sure this section right here will fit it. So that's that option there. And then the last one I have to show you as a possibility is my Celtic pumpkin. I love that. That is so pretty. Now, originally I thought, ooh, the Friendship Green would go nice with that as well, because I did want a light green, and it sure would look good. But then I saw this one, and it's a little bit brighter, and I think to let the leaves pop a bit more and the pumpkin to pop a bit more, and I don't know the name of it. I have to look it up on Etsy. This is a fabric I bought. It's from Dove Stitch, and it's a great fabric, but I don't know the name of it. They don't always have them all. They don't have them generally labeled unless it's across the top. If I do choose to stitch with this one and I start it, I will go back in my Etsy purchases and I will find what color it is, so you'll know. It's a lovely green though. It's really nice, and I really think those colors will look nice. I did I threw the floss on there, and they did really look nice on that. So it's a little bit brighter, but I think I'd like it that way. So that's definitely an option too. Maybe as a birthday start for me or something. I don't know. My birthday's on a Sunday, so we'll see. We'll see what I'm doing that day. And that's it. That's my sort of plans in the sense of if, I'm just going to leave this here. I'm afraid they're all going to fall. If I want some more starts, which I think I would at some point, those are the ones I'm choosing from. Doesn't mean I wouldn't necessarily just find something completely different and start it as well. You know, that's always possible in my world, but that's the plan at the moment. Okay, I have just 2 pieces of shopping. They're both fabrics of the months, and that's it for shopping. I don't seem to have, some people have really long shopping sections. God bless you. I don't know how you do it. I just I only do my fabrics, right? I mean, there's 2 fabrics of the months here. You know, my fabrics are, that's my weakness. I love doing the fabrics. So I do fabric of the month this year from Fortnight Fabrics. I haven't 100% decided if I will continue or if I will just try something new or whatever for next year. Their sign-ups start in a couple days. So I might go back, look at the colors, see if there's one of the groups that I'd want to do. We'll see. But I am enjoying it this year quite a bit. And I'm in 2 groups. I'm in the Opal, which they are not repeating next year. They're just going to do that as Buy It Nows on their Facebook page. And then also Groovy Gradients. When I got mine, I only received one this month, and there's a note. They must have had some trouble with the dyeing, that next month I will get the Groovy Gradient for this month along with the other 2 when they come in. So all I have is the Opal one to show you. If you don't want to see, look away. It's an 18 count Aida. I get a really small piece of it. I get an 1/8 of a yard, and it's called Cat's Eye. Isn't that pretty? So let me go back first. Again, not as modeled as what you're seeing. On this side, it's a little bit more, but this side, not as much. It blends a lot nice. It blends really nicely, I should say. As I come closer, it's not sunny outside, but sometimes on these days, the light from the outside kind of, or the glare from the windows shines off of my fabrics. So that's that one. I'll put it down. All right, if that was the one you didn't want to see, you can look back. And then I decided I have seen several people stitch and start stitching with Grace Notes fabrics. And I said, well, I stopped coloring cotton because I, just wanted to try something new. Love coloring cottons, fabrics, don't get me wrong, but sometimes change is good. And I said, well, let me try Grace Notes instead. So I started, and this was my very first month with them. So if you don't want to see, look away. I am in, I think like Bestitchme, they have the option of colors, neutrals, or switching. I'm in colors. Okay, so look away. 18 count Aida. It's called Minuet. Isn't that pretty? Really, really pretty. This would be so pretty in a nice big piece. So that's what it looks like. So I haven't really had a chance to check out, but it feels like nice Aida. It's not, at most hand dyers, the Aida, I'll put it down. The Aida is not stiff. Very rarely for a hand dyer would you find the Aida being stiff. Some are softer than others. This feels like that good in between medium. So I'm looking forward to stitching on that and trying some more of their fabrics for the fabric of the month. So that's it. That's my shopping. This week, like last week, will be a little bit quicker. I don't think we'll get to an hour, certainly. All right, giveaways. I have 2 flosses to do as a giveaway. They're both Classic Colorworks, Just Rust and Fool's Gold. Those are the 2 colors. Thank you so much for all of you who entered. I like doing these, and I have quite a few smaller package, like manila sort of bubble envelopes that I really need to get rid of. So maybe there'll be more flosses in the future that I'll do, because I can put them in the tiny packages and ship them since they're so small, which makes it a little bit easier. All right, so I asked you to say the word gold in reference to the Fool's Gold, and move it all around here. Oh gosh. And I did try to mix them around this morning when I put them in the bowl, but I feel like they needed an extra mixing. I'll make sure everybody gets a chance. Okay. I have just one, and the winner is Kathleen Sullivan. Congratulations, Kathleen. If you could get back to me, I will send out your flosses to you. So I will keep your name with those. I'll just put them right back in the bowl with your name on top so that we can get those back to you. All right, this week is a Pass the Stash. This is not a new pattern. It is a pattern you've seen quite a bit recently. I have finished Halloween calendar. I don't plan on restitching it, stitching the whole thing, whatever. So maybe for next year, any of you who would like to do either littles like I did or a big piece, if you so choose, like it is here, this will be the giveaway. So if you could say the word moon, M-O-O-N, moon, I will put your name in the bowl and I will give this away next video. And I would love to know what you decide or how you decide to stitch it. What colors fabrics are you stitching on? Are you stitching them separate? There's so many different ways that you can, if you stitch them separate, so many different things you can do to do countdowns and ways to do it. And it's a lot of fun. So, and Tiny Modernist is a fun stitch anyway. All right, so that's that. That's the giveaway. So yeah, look at that, under 45. If that's all you're here for the stitching, then I hope you have a fantastic week and I will see you next time. Okay, so life stuff. So this week, because of the Monday holiday here, oh, and all of my Canadian friends, I hope you had a wonderful, lovely Thanksgiving. I follow quite a few Canadian food bloggers. There's a lot of vegan bloggers in Canada, I've noticed. Not bloggers so much. Well, yes, they do have blogs, but they also do Instagram. That's where I follow a lot of them. So I saw all these wonderful, lovely vegan Thanksgiving ideas over the last weekend. So I hope you had a lovely day. Okay, now, for us here in the US, Monday was a federal holiday. And so the way it worked out, both kids are in college. One got a better vacation than the other. Connor got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off. So he had a 4-day weekend. Megan had a full week and a full fall break. I don't know why they get a full week, but they do. She has never actually gotten fall break in her time at school because she always played field hockey. She played field hockey and lacrosse. This year she decided she only wanted to do one sport, and it's lacrosse. So she won't get a spring break really. But she'll get, but she got for the first time ever a full fall break, because usually games are played during break. So she'd get like a day or two off normally. So this was the very first time. So Connor, since his was so short, Mo went up to Connecticut and grabbed him from school, and they, up in Massachusetts, and they stayed in Connecticut for the 4 days and just hung out, and so on and so forth. That was Connor's vacation. He went back to school on Tuesday, and Mo came back down here then. Megan, because she's in Pennsylvania, it's easy to bring her. It's actually closer here in Delaware than it was in Connecticut. So I went up on Sunday to get her. So you can see my Sunday stitching was most definitely, it takes about 2 hours. And I got up early and on the road. It was so cute. I don't think Megan watches, so she won't hear me say this, and I don't think she can hear me because I'm upstairs. But I got a text from her, and she's like, okay, so when are you picking me up? Like late morning, early afternoon type of thing. I said, oh no, I'm up and out at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'll be there at 10. Oh, okay. Because I am up early in the mornings. I don't generally sleep in. Although lately with the darker mornings, it's been a little tougher to get out of bed, but I generally don't sleep in. So 8 o'clock, actually 10 minutes to 8, I was on the road, and I did, there was not much traffic on a Sunday morning. I even stopped and got gas before going to pick her up. Just grabbed her stuff, and then we hit the road back again. I had to hit the grocery store because she eats different types of things than I do. So I figured I'll let her choose what she's gonna have there for the week. And so my good portion of my day was driving and visiting and all of that. But it was great to see her. I haven't seen her in person since the semester started. You know, she would have gone back because she is most schools call them RAs. Her school calls it an HA. So she had to be back early for some training, and then before the freshmen got there. So middle of August, I haven't seen her since. So it was really nice for her to be home this week. And we got haircuts, we went to lunch, we did some shopping. Mo got back on Wednesday, so we all went out and we went for a night. It was beautiful Tuesday and Wednesday, rained yesterday. So Wednesday, we went somewhere where we sat outside and just relaxed and had a nice dinner and all of that. So it's been a lot of fun. Rained yesterday, which was good because she had homework to do, so she got some work done too. And she goes back today after lunch, and she is driving back. Mo got the car that the two of them used in high school. He got it all set and ready to go, and so she's going to take it back to school for the rest of this semester and next semester before her brother gets it for college. But so of course I'll be all afternoon on pins and needles until she gets back, because you know she's driving there by herself. But that will mean most likely, because once I finish taping, she's still sleeping, so I figured I could get the taping done. But then once she gets up, I'll be spending some time with her before she goes, so I won't have a chance to do all of the behind the scenes stuff for this video probably until after that. So this video will go up later, hopefully with easy downloading time. It will go up on Friday night. If not, it'd be Saturday morning. But I figured you'd indulge me the little bit of extra time with her before she goes back to school. At this point, you know, I probably won't see her until Thanksgiving, but that's a shorter stretch than it has been. But it's been really nice to have her here, and I've really enjoyed it. And so yeah, so that was my biggest thing. Other than that, not a lot too much going on. Like I said, next week I have a few just general appointments. You know how you have those as you get older, right? And you got to see about 7 different doctors for yearly checkups. It's crazy. But yeah, that's really all that's in my immediate idea of what's going on. Hopefully maybe I'll get a chance to do some stitching. I think Saturday might be nice, Sunday maybe not so much, so I should have some stitching time some point in there as well. But that's it. I think that's about all I have to say. So yeah, so again, a little bit oh my goodness, I definitely have to go. It's not a little bit shoulder, it's a little bit shorter than normal. I didn't sleep great last night. Last weekend I slept so good. I hadn't slept that well. I think for about 3 days. I'm not even sure I got up in the middle of the night. Usually, you know, you wake up, whether it's just you wake up or you have to use the restroom or whatever. But for 3 days, I slept nice and solid, and oh, it was nice. It's like, oh, that's what people normally do. But now I'm back to my, last night I just kept kind of waking up, you know, and I turn over and then try to get back to sleep, and then you'd wake up a little bit later, and it's just, so I'm a little bit tired this morning, I have to say. I think I should do some green tea this morning, maybe pep myself up a little bit. But yeah, that's about it. That's really all I have to do. I think I do want to go today to Home Goods though, to try to get some more. I have some ideas for organizational things to put some of my stuff in, because this is definitely not, it's not done yet. I still have things that I'd like to organize and things you cannot see that need to go somewhere. So this is still very much a work in progress, this craft room as well. One of these days it will get done and I will show you. Oh, and the other thing is I am almost done. I think I'll have 2 scrapbook pages that I'm going to work on. I got some great colors of cardstock, and which I needed for one. The other one I kept debating, and I think I'm going to keep it very simple. I debated on trying to jazz it up, but I think I like it the way it is. So hopefully maybe I will do a scrap with me video and this week, and I will scrap a 12 by 12 piece and an 8.5 by 11 piece and get going on those scrapbooks. I know some of you have said you want to start to see pages, and again, you know, obviously what I do might be something different than you do, but it just gives you a jumping off point, right? So hopefully maybe that'll be coming too. Maybe if I say it, that means I have to do it, right? I get so involved in all of my stuff, and then the day goes by and I'm like, gosh darn it, I meant to do a tape of that. But anyway, that's it. Okay, so I hope you're well. I hope you are safe. I hope you are getting lots of you time in if you get a chance. Remember to take care of yourself. Can't take care of anybody else if you're not taking care of yourself. And until next time, happy stitching.